What's the coolest thing you've been able to do since all of this craziness started for you?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think one of the I mean, bringing John to that game was so cool, and that happened because my followers had reached out, and one of them had a sister with a disability, and they had handicap seating, so they had offered up their tickets for that weekend because they weren't going to use them. So that alone was probably the cool experience. I've never seen Johnny so happy than when I brought him to that game. But in terms of my an experience that I had was I hosted NFL red carpet first on Super Bowl. When was that? 2 years ago. And I had talked to like Dak Prescott and Kurt Warner. It was like the most amazing experience. And they just kept bringing guys by me. And a couple of them knew me, like George Kittle came by and was like, "Oh, big fan of your videos." That's probably the coolest experience. Just it's very gratifying to know that all the hard work was paying off. So that was pretty cool.
Coolest person you've met?
Ooh, good question.
Like maybe most mind blowing, right? Like one of those like little Annie would never believe this.
I might have to say Dak Prescott, as much as I
Really?
hate on the Cowboys, and not just because I mean, it was shocking, right? And meaning Jordan Love was great and shocking, and I haven't met Aaron Rodgers yet. That would probably be my number one, or Tom Brady. But meeting Dak, he was the nicest human being I've ever met. And and it was so it turned my world upside down because I made so much fun of him. And the Cowboys are like my number one on my list of jokes that I make.
No, Daniel Jones is number one on your list of
Oh,
jokes,
that's true.
girl.
That's very true, especially as of late. That's very true. But yeah, he was it was the end of the red carpet and he had to get going and his PR person was like, "No, we're like no more interviews." And he stopped her and he was like, "I can answer a couple questions." And then proceeded to give me like a whole life story for like 15 minutes. Just the nicest guy. So
Yeah.
and that was right before he won Walter Payton Man of the Year. So I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." I see that. That plays.
Really nice guy. I covered him at Mississippi State, and so
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
been covering him for a long time. Jason Taylor was mine. I just happened to get to work the Dolphins game at home right after Jason was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and so
Oh,
he was there getting his ring. Listen, look, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale,
oh
right?
my gosh.
I get to interview him on air. And I looked at him before we go on and I said to him, I said, "Let me tell you something, Jason." I said, "I used to be here when I was in high school and college." And I pointed all the way to the top of the stadium. And I said, "I sat all the way up there with my girlfriends watching you and Zach on the field." And by
That
the way, Zach is my favorite player. I have one jersey, Miami Dolphin jersey. It's number 54. I have it in orange. I have it in green. I have it in white. Love him.
Oh, I love that.
So
Oh,
I said to Jason, I said, "I watched you and Zach. I lived in the same apartment complex as them. We used to drive by every day and see if Jason's car was there because he was so cute." And so, like, we were, college kids. And I said, "This is not lost on me that I am here now getting this
yeah.
opportunity after, so many years." So that was my coolest thing.
Oh,
That was my
that would be so
coolest.
cool.
It
I
was
think
pretty
that's how
cool.
I'd feel if I ever met Aaron Rodgers or
Yeah.
Brett Favre. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
1000%. You would,
grew up
and
with him.
especially if you got to interview them on the field at Lambeau,
Yeah.
or a place where it kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
brings it full circle.
Yeah. I will say Charles Woodson was really cool. He's probably my favorite Packer of all time. He was
I
great
love
to
that.
me. The whole Michigan fandom aside, but
Yeah,
Michigan.
there are a lot of people you don't wanna meet your heroes, right?
Right.
Like, I feel
Right.
like that happens a lot, but I also feel like and I'm glad that we can talk about this and give the guys
Oh, yeah.
credit who do deserve it because
Absolutely.
there are a lot of them that are freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I will always talk about it because I think everybody needs to know that they're just the best guys.
Welcome to the show where dreams take flight.